other stuff. Her name is Monica Rial. She's my good friend. Let's give her a round of applause. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Get comfortable because I've got a freaking couch. And I warp.
You're gonna have to mic it.
I will. I'm just getting situated. This is why I always wear leggings underneath my skirts. Don't want to have any incidents. It's happened before. You know, they always joke about anime characters showing their underwear. Hey, you're here! Anime characters showing their underwear, well, sometimes I do too on accident, hence leggings. How's everybody doing? Good. Thank you for coming on the first day. I know that it's still relatively early and you guys haven't really gotten the whole convo yet, so thanks for coming to see me. I appreciate it. So I'm assuming that you know who I am or you wouldn't be here, but just in case you don't and you're sitting there going, who is this woman and why does she sound like that? My name is Monica Rial. I'm a voice actress. That explains the whole thing. I am a voice actress, ADR director, and script adapter, and I've worked originally for ADV Films, and I've since worked for Funimation Entertainment. I've done a little work for Bang Zoom. I've done a little work pretty much everywhere. Some of the biggest shows that I worked on, Bulma, Dragon Ball Z, Kai, and the new movies. There's so many. Fairy Tail, I played Mara Jane, Rosario and Vampire, and Yukari. Michiko and Hachin, yeah. Okay,
Excel Saga.
Michiko and Hachin. Excel Saga, I play Hyatt.
Fury Kurumi.
Dead Man Wonderland, Tsubaki, and Soul Eater. Oh gosh, yeah! Mitsuki and Beyond the Boundary, which just came out. I am Moa in Show by Walk. Sakura and Tsubasa. Gosh, you guys are better at this than I am. The cameraman just got really excited. So yeah, I've done, has anybody seen Gangsta? Okay, that's my new favorite character. I play Sig in Gangsta, and she's like Harley Quinn, only more hardcore, if you can believe it. So yeah, I've done all of that, and then I've adapted some shows, and I'm just gonna let you guys do the tough part. I'm gonna let you ask the questions, and I will give you the answers. How's that? Here's the problem though. If you don't ask me questions, I get to ask you questions. That's how it works. Who has a question?
I do.
There's one right back here. Hold on just a second.
I have a couple. I think the first thing I'm going to start with, since I mentioned Beyond the Boundary.
Yes.
I asked that dub was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
I really like great stuff from everyone there. Actually, I wanted to ask more about that in general. Like a lot of the recent releases from Sentai Filmworks, there's been a lot of debate over their culture in the past few years, but this year is like awesome stuff. What are your thoughts on that? Why do you think that is?
Well, I think what happened is, for those of you that don't know, Sentai is basically ADV. It's pretty much the same people. Yeah, it's ADV 2.0. So ADV kind of went and went into flames. And then like a phoenix, from the ashes came Sentai. And as things started out, they didn't have a lot of time or energy or financial support in order to spend the time that was needed. Now, luckily, they're really focusing on quality of product and making sure that everything is up to, former ADV standards, if you will. So there's more time involved. Like if you think of some of the early shows that we did for Sentai, like
High School of the Dead.
High School of the Dead, 12 episodes. I recorded all of Shizuka in 6 hours. All 12 episodes. That's why when people are like, hey, remember that part in High School of the Dead when you said this or that? But I'm like, no. I remember I was Shizuka, and I've got giant boobs, and I drive a bus. Go me. Because it was so quick, and we had to move that fast, because in order to get it out, they needed the financial support of having products sell in order to turn around and be able to spend more time. So we're lucky now in that we get to spend more time on the products. So stuff like Beyond the Boundary. I'm trying to think about what I can talk about that's out here. Oh, stuff that's on Toonami, like Akame ga Kill and Parasite. They're able to really spend that time like they used to back in the day. So I'm happy to see that.
I'm really glad for them.
I'm glad that the fans are giving them another shot, because I know when a lot of stuff came out, like Penguin Drum especially, everybody was like, oh. And now it's like, hey, look, we had to get it out as fast as we could, and now we're really trying to spend time and put some love into it.
On that same note, another role of yours that I really liked from Houston just last year was Tamaki and Majestic Prince.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that show was great. I really think more people should watch it.
It's a fun show. It's a really, if you guys haven't seen Majestic Prince, it's really good. I just loved that the trailer came out, and I didn't say a word. All I did was go, "Ah," and everybody went, "That's Monica Rial." I'm like, it's kind of scary when all you have to do is breathe and people know it's you.
From Ultimate Otaku Teacher.
Oh yeah, well, in Ultimate Otaku Teacher, I love that I play
The one that was
Canon.
in the anime voice.
Yeah, and so she's like got the quintessential anime voice, and everybody's like, I wonder who it's gonna be. And then when I opened my mouth, they were like, oh, that makes
Just like
sense.
the character.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it works. You had a question.
Yes, I'm a big Smite fan, and
Yay!
last year I met you as Hell. This year you have a new skin, Kawaii Pop Bastet.
Yes,
That
same
is-
line as the other.
Yeah, that is both loved by multiple people and hated as well because it's as obnoxious as it can be.
Oh yeah.
How much fun did you have filming that role?
I had so much fun. So those of you that don't know, I'm in a game that's called Smite, and it's all about the Norse gods. And then what happens is there's all this downloadable content where the gods get like different skins and stuff. And so for the character of Bastet, there's this kawaii pop version, which is the most Japanese-centric, crazy anime. So when they sent me the audition, I was kind of like, do I really have to audition? Because I know what Chris is gonna do. So when I got it, the only thing that I didn't know was the nyan 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 song.
Yeah,
They had to play it for me in the booth, and I was like, oh, you want me to sing the whole song? And they're like, pretty much. I'm like, okay. So it was a lot of fun though, because I got to do what I'm so used to in anime, and it was fun because they were so surprised. They're like, wow, this is so easy for you. I'm like, oh, you guys don't watch anime. You don't know that this is what I do on the weekly.
with the original voice of Bastet, as soon as I heard the Kawaii Pop, I'm like, that sounds like Hell, that's Monica.
Yeah.
But when you were recording the lines like "Be My Senpai" and "Kawaii Desu," do you know which lines are for which voice command?
No.
Oh, well, "You Rock" is "Be My Senpai," which is
Oh,
perfect.
wow.
Yeah, and a lot of your things like "I'm the Greatest" is "Kawaii Desu."
Oh, fun. See, we don't get any of that knowledge. It's kind of weird what we do get and how it comes through the game. Like, I didn't even know what she looked like. I know who Norse mythology. I know who Hell is. She's the guardian of Hell and la-da-da-da-da. She's got a good side and a dark side. And so I knew that much, but I had no idea what she looked like. And when I finally saw the animation, I was like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm really cool.
Do you remember any of her taunts and jokes?
I remember the cookies, because everybody makes me say that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I can't say it right now because it's during the day, maybe later. But yeah, a lot of her taunts and stuff are a lot of fun, and it's continually, I don't know if I can't say much, but I will say it's continuing on, it keeps going.
Give me a hint, what god or goddess maybe?
It's the same. So far it's the same, but I don't know. I should probably stop talking before I can jump. Yeah.
First of all, congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you! I'm so excited!
I know, so are other fanboys.
Yay, thank you!
So, now that you're getting into a bunch of other forms of voiceover with, say, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Backstage Pass, like with visual novels, is that something that you're going to be looking into, like, landing more roles in those kind of media?
I've been very lucky in that somehow people find me. Like, I should. I'm a bad example of an actor. If you were an actor, you should be out there promoting yourself and looking for work. Instead, I just do what I like the work that I have, and so I stick in that genre, and then they kind of come find me.
Yeah, let's say IU goes like, hey, I need someone to
Yeah, they'll say, hey, we need this person, or does anybody know somebody who could do this? Oh yeah, call Monica. So I don't know how it happens, but I'm very lucky. Just in case. I'm very lucky that that does happen. That being said, I've enjoyed all of those venues so much that I have kind of thought about looking more into, like Western animation and that kind of stuff. It's hard though because I'm in Dallas and I'm in Texas, and so we don't have a lot of that Western animation and we don't have as many opportunities, but I don't want to live in LA. It's one of those things where it's like, I kind of like where I am now. Like, I've got a good life in Dallas. I'm comfortable. I've got good friends and my family's not too far away. I don't know if I want to ditch all of that to go out to LA to maybe be on a Saturday morning cartoon. Maybe. So yeah, I'm kind of settled in my ways now, but I'm all for trying new stuff. I work with an agent. I have a talent agent in Houston, and so I do a lot of commercial work as well. You guys don't have Albertsons grocery stores down here, do you? Oh, you do?
We used to. Yeah, but they-
Well, I do the voice commercials for Albertsons. Yeah. So there's a lot of, this week at Albertsons, you can get strawberries, 4 pounds for $5, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not as much fun, but that kind of pays the bills in between the anime and video game gigs. So you get used to it. But yeah, I would love to do more of that, the Western animation and the novels and stuff like that. I just haven't. Yes, Sonic.
Oh, so how do you like your career at Funimation? Because I know my favorite anime character has to be Tsubaki from Soul Eater. And I know you voiced her.
Thank you.
And anytime I
Oh,
watch
sweet.
any anime that's distributed by Funimation that you play a character role, you have amazing English job. So
Oh,
I love
thank
your
you.
career at Funimation.
I really enjoyed working at Funimation. I started there way back in like 2002, 2003 on a show called Kitty Grade, and it was right after they had done Fruits Baskets. It's plural. Okay, Fruits Baskets, and I think that was it. It was like the next anime after there was Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fruits Basket, and then Kitty Grade. So they were still relatively new to this whole, oh, this isn't Dragon Ball thing. So it was neat to be a part of that change because I had been working at ADB for many years, and so I kind of came over there and I'm like, oh, this is different. This is so different. But as they got to do more anime and it progressed and people kind of grew into bigger roles and they added more people to the roster and found actors from all over, it's really kind of become a neat little group of folks. I mean, we still have new folks that come in and we embrace them and love them too, but that core group of people that's been there kind of since DBZ and Kitty Grade in that early day, like, it really is kind of like a little family because you work with everybody so much. That being said, there's still a lot of people that I haven't met that work there, and I feel bad because I've been in a lot of shows with them and I have no idea what they look like. But I really enjoy working over there. I think it's a lot of fun. Everybody's very chill. Like, there's not a lot of competition. Not that there was at ADB either. I think it's just a Texas thing. Like, we don't compete. I don't like stare down Lucy Christian and go, I'm going to get this role, not you. It's actually the opposite. We're like, hey, I'm playing the friend and you're my best friend, yay, woo. Everybody's very supportive. It's a really good environment. You know, stuff happens every once in a while and you just go, woohoo, and you move on. And then you focus on the positive. But everybody there has been really awesome. I love the production teams on both sides. Like, there might be people that make business decisions that you're like, I don't know where you're coming from. But the production people are all really cool, and that's what matters. Who else has questions? Yes, ma'am.
I know it's a long time ago, but who is your favorite character from Funny? What's your favorite Melissa Hankins document voice?
Oh God.
There's so many.
Let's pick a moment.
I like the diet episode, probably is my favorite. Just because I still have people going, you didn't really do that voice, did you? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did. It was so much fun. So yeah, I'd say probably, why do I feel like this couch needs to be deeper? My couch at home is like a bed couch, so I'm used to like being able to put my feet up. Excuse me, y'all, I'm gonna redecorate. This is why I wear leggings. Oh, you don't have to help me with my laziness. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, this just got awesome. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Totally different vibe now. Hey. Penguin and Saki. Yes, I loved the diet episode. I thought that was super fun. Gosh, what else? Anytime just getting to work on that show because it was so much fun. I got to hear Ian. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't get to hear what Chuck actually sounds like because he's so far in the background and he's so like mixed that every once in a while you hear like Chuck, that's it. I got to go in like second after Ian, so I heard all the crazy chucking that he would do. And that sounds really bad. I was like, that's not Ian, is it? No. So I got to hear all of the crazy chucking that he would do and the ridiculousness, and he really like went for it. Like he was in it to win it as Chuck. And I would tell him all the time, I'm like, I know that People aren't gonna hear it, you're not gonna know, but I know, man. I know the love and the effort that you put into Chuck. So that was kind of cool. I also liked I was usually one of the first to record because it was very taxing vocally and like energy-wise. And Chris and Jamie and some of the other folks were not as used to playing those high energy characters. And I was like, bitches, I do this every day. Welcome to Monica's world. So I would usually be the first one to come in because I could do more than 3 hours at a time. And I would love hearing people's reactions because I didn't actually get to be there, but hearing people's reactions to the things that I would say. I love that so many people were so upset for me having to say 4-letter words. I'm like, you obviously don't know me that well if you think that bothers me. But yeah, it was cute because everybody's like, Monica, I'm so sorry that they're making you say those things. That's really horrible. I'm like, I know, right? How dare they make me curse? I feel like a horrible person. Meanwhile, in traffic, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I like to play that off. That was fun. But definitely the diet episode, and I'd say my other favorite episode is In a Room. The room where they're just hanging out, and you get to see the two of them kind of interacting and what their life is really like, and I really think that one's fun too. Who else has a question? Yes.
Now that we're a couple of seasons into Funimation doing the broadcast dubs, are you allowed to talk about, like, say, how the production schedule works and how taxing it is compared to, say, original or normal dubs?
It's really busy. No, do you guys know about the broadcast dubs? Just people watch broadcast dubs. Okay, just in case you don't know, it's gonna sound like a commercial, but just deal with it for 5 seconds, and I promise I won't ever talk about it again. So the broadcast dubs, if you're on Funimation.com and you pay like a monthly rate, you can get elite service, and what that means is that you get like their entire catalog on their site. And then when shows come on in Japan, like 2 days later, they're what do you call it? Subtitled. They're subtitled and put up on their site, so you can watch it subtitled 2 days after it plays in Japan. Then, a month after the day that it airs in Japan, you can get it dubbed on the site. It is the fastest we have ever turned around things. It used to take a year back in the day. When we worked on Excel Saga, it was like a year from start to finish. This is like a month. So, at first, we knew Space Dandy was a test. So, like when we did Space Dandy, as writers of the show, we literally got 2 days to write a script, and you normally get like a week. So we were like, I know this is a test for something, but I don't know what. It was horrifying at first because it's like, hey, do this in like a third of the time that you normally do it and be funny. I mean, it has to be funny. So it was really scary, but I kind of learned to trust my humor and my judgment more. So it kind of prepared us for what was coming. The first season of broadcast dubs was chaotic at best, because we had like 10 shows or something that we had to...
Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, it was so many. Yeah, it was a lot of shows. So you had all of those actors working all of those hours, plus writers and directors, just everybody was working like 10, 12 hours a day, every day. For me, it was taxing because the 2 shows that I wrote were Tokyo Ghoul and Yona of the Dawn, so... Complete different spectrums, and they both picked up in the middle. Yeah, that's not fun. At least Tokyo Ghoul I got to write all together. Yona, I literally had to start from 13 and then go back to the beginning, and then go back through everything for the DVD release to make sure that it's all good. So that was a little tricky, and then I'm not used to that schedule of recording anymore. Like, we've gotten really lazy nowadays, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna do 3 hours here, 4 hours here, maybe I'll have a full 8-hour day every once in a while. Ooh, I'm so tired. But it's not like back in the day with ADV for a while, we were working, 10 to 10. Like, you would go to this studio, and then go into that studio, and then go over there, and go over here. But it's been such a long time since I've had to do that getting back into that zone was difficult at first. I was like, wait, you want me to do what? Okay, now I'm a princess. Okay, now I'm trying to kill Kaneki, and now I'm a lesbian bear. And so there was a lot of going from studio to studio and going, what am I doing now? What show is this? And a lot of also what people don't think about is warming up. because like tend to run the spectrum. So they'll call me in for like show by rock, where I'm like, everything's way up here, it's super cute. And then they'll call me in for like Tokyo Ghoul, where Rise, once she's like all ghouled out, sometimes she can get way down in here. And so to be able to do those two things, there's a whole spectrum in the middle that you have to be able to warm up. And if you can't do that, then you get to the studio and you're like,
I can just imagine like walking through the hall, just going from like high pitched to then low.
oh, you hear people just walking around like, like warming up, doing craziness. But there was a period in time, I want to say after like the second season of Broadcast Dubs, that people were like, enough. We're all tired. We need a little bit of a break. And I think Funimation saw that, and that's why they kind of pulled back a little bit, because they were like, we don't want to kill everybody. Yeah. We like our actors and directors and writers. We don't want to kill them. And the poor translators.
Oh god.
Poor translators. I don't even know how they do it. And then what you don't realize is when we're working on stuff, it changes even as we're going along. So like, you're doing stuff for the broadcast dub, and then it'll change, and then for the DVD release, it's got to change again, and things are still being updated, and licensors are sending terms, and all this craziness. So it can be very stressful, but all in all, it's anime, and we love it, and that's why we do it, so. But yeah, there's been several times during the broadcast dub situation where I wanted to flip tables. Micah Solusad and I had a comment where, like, one night, it was really late, and we were both in a studio, and I just looked at him, and he went, I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? All right, that was a good conversation, let's go. Just because we both had felt like we'd been through the trenches a little bit, but it's better now. We're a little more rested, everything is a little more organized. The only thing that I see being a problem in the future is that now the broadcast dubs have become a hit, and so they're like, sweet, all these new shows or second seasons of shows, we're gonna do broadcast dubs for them, even though people live out of town. The first thing a lot of out-of-town actors want to do is drive to Dallas weekly. Not. So that's the only problems I see coming up. But otherwise, I think everybody's settled. It's calmed down now. We're still doing DVD dubs, so it's not like we just do the broadcast dubs. So everything's kind of chilled out a little bit. And I think as we go on, even more so, it'll start to kind of even out though. But there was a little period of craziness where we were all like, make it stop, please, it's moving too fast. But yeah, I think we're better now. We're getting there now. Who else has a question? Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of an older anime you were in.
I love it.
So you might not remember it, but what was up with the script to Ghost Stories?
Yeah. Everybody always asks. Every time I'm like, how long will it take before someone asks about Ghost Stories? Good job. Early on, good job. That one, okay, so what happened is way back in the day, ADV was approached about this show. I don't know if it was like, sometimes when you license a show in Japan, you get like a group deal. So they'll be like, hey, here's this really awesome show you want. But to get this show, you have to take this crappy show nobody wants. You know, so sometimes those kind of deals happen. So I don't know if it was that or if it was just they went after it, I don't know. But it didn't do well in Japan. It's not that it was a bad show, it's just kind of a show, you know? So it didn't do very well over there, so they came, talked to ADV, and they were like, please, we want to get our money back, like we're bleeding money on this show. You can do whatever you want with it. And those were probably the last words they shouldn't have said. So Stephen Foster was the director at the time, and he's like, all right, so we can do whatever we want with it. Sweet. So we kept the names of the characters, and the surroundings, the situation, basic. That's about it. Everything else changed. It's so funny though, because everybody now is like, oh my God, Ghost Stories, I love it. I love Ghost Stories, it's so great. But back then, we seriously were worried that we were gonna get our butts kicked for doing that, because people were like, how dare they release a dub that is not exactly the translation, blah. It was really, like, people would come and like start crap with us at conventions, like, how dare you? It's like, look dude, I'm just an actor. I just do what I'm told. If you got a beef, you're gonna have to go find somebody else in Houston and not me. But yeah, we improvised a lot. Like Stephen Foster would have the translation there, but we never heard it. And it was so fun because we got to break that fourth wall. So like we actually got to speak to the audience. So like when there was English, we would comment on the English, or if the flaps were weird, we would talk about how the flaps were weird, or subject matter. Stephen was like, I want to make sure that this is an equal opportunity offender, so let's offend everyone. So there are some older jokes in there now, like poor Christian Slater. We just really gave him a hard time. I don't even know if anybody knows who that is anymore. But overall, you know, it's one of those things that's funny that all these years later, like people are still talking about it, and I think that's what's awesome. And somebody in Japan is very happy that they got their money back. And that's really what matters at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't think that will ever happen again. That was like a one-time thing. It's not very often that people put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into something and go, here, do whatever you want with this. So it was a very fun experience to be a part of. There was talk for a while that, you know, maybe they'll do Ghost Story Season 2 to the exact same animation. That would have been awesome. But Discotech got the rights and is actually releasing it now, so that's pretty awesome too. You can actually buy it. I love it. Yes?
At this point, a lot of I'm thinking mostly of your Houston movies, because I've heard a lot of your roles from Houston lately, and there's some of my favorite things that I've heard from you recently.
Oh, thank you.
But I got the opportunity not that long ago to watch Macross.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and your work as Misa was, well, first of all, that dub as a whole was also one of the best I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you.
Misa was also one of the best things I've ever heard from you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's been a long time since that show, but what are your thoughts on the show? What did you like about it?
Well, first of all, it was really cool for me because I don't remember actually watching Robotech when I was a kid, but I must have known about Robotech when I was a kid because I had a Lisa Hayes doll. And so it's really weird to turn around years later, and when I was cast as Misa Hayase, I looked at the character and I went, I had that doll! Holy crap! When I was a kid, I totally had that doll, but her name was different. They're like, oh yeah, Lisa Hayes from Robotech, and I was like, holy crap! So it was kind of neat to kind of come full circle and get to play that character. It was a great experience. Working with Mari was awesome. You know, it's probably the only time I will actually get to work with one of the original Seiyu on a project. That was awesome. But one thing I would like to clear up is that on a lot of the sites, it says that I did that dub back in 1980 something.
Yeah, because the show is from 1980.
Right, because the show is from 80. And I'm like, you guys, I was like 5.
You weren't that good.
I was that good, yeah. I was that good. I was playing an adult at 5. Yeah, right. Yeah, but it was a great show, and I love Matt Greenfield was the director, and I love working with him. He's awesome. I like to give him a hard time.
I have a question.
No. Yes, Jose.
Can
what
you
is
ask the audience to come up to the microphone because we are recording this?
Oh, sure.
Pretty
Sorry.
please, and we want to hear their voices and their questions.
Yes.
Video
Now
editing.
everybody's like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Video editing. Please edit this out. Thank you.
Yeah. And scene. I guess if y'all want to make a line at the microphone.
Okay, with Mikagura School Suite with Erina, was that one of those shows where you basically were given a lot of improvisation abilities, or was it just all scripted to be as over the top, insane, crazy as she is?
It was, if you haven't seen Mikagura School Suite or Mikagura School Suite, hello. It's a really fun show. It was scripted by Jamie, so I didn't have to like improv at all because it's Jamie and she and I pretty much have one brain. So it's almost like she wrote it with me in mind, and then I was able to deliver it how I thought Jamie would think I would deliver it, if that sounds right. That sounds very weird and kind of otherworldly. But it was kind of one big circle, and she wrote it hoping it was going to be me. So it's kind of nice to have people write something for you and then to be able to do it, because it's like, oh, I know how she wanted me to do this. Oh, and then to have Sonny Strait, who plays Krillin and is a fantastic voice actor all on his own, but to have him back in the booth directing was awesome because he let me do whatever I wanted, which might have been a bad choice sometimes because he'd be like, can you bring that back just a little bit? Because I'm one of those actors that I go into the booth and I'm like, I'm not easily, well, you can tell, I'm not easily embarrassed, I'm not shy, I'm like, just crazy. And so he let me do whatever I wanted, and that was pretty awesome because I got to be insane. And she's insane, and I think that, you know, I was exhausted every time I would finish, but I absolutely adore her. She's one of my favorites. I've got a little, you know, keychain thing on my keychain. I love her. I love her. Who else? Hello.
Hello. I was wondering, when I first saw Moa and Joe Marlowe, I knew it was going to be I knew it was going to be you,
Yay!
with your voice. And how much fun was it to voice someone as kooky as Moa?
She's super, super fun. She's so out there and zany. And of course, I don't get to play, I should say, restate that. It's not that I don't get to. I don't play as much of the squeaky little bitty girls anymore because there's a lot of young girls that have come in and kind of taken that. So they're like, hey, we got this covered. You go do this other stuff that people can't do. But it's been fun to kind of revisit that because for so long, that's all I did. So Moa, though, she's so cute, and everybody else has like a sincere purpose to the show that drives the storyline forward, except for Moa. She's kind of like the glitter on the side. Like, hey, I do all these crazy things. I might be from outer space. Woo, yay! But I absolutely adore her, and I love Sanrio. Like my first job ever was at a Sanrio store, and I voiced Hello Kitty for a while. So anything Sanrio does, in my opinion, is gold. So. And maybe I probably shouldn't say anything. You'll want to get the DVDs. Yes. You'll want to get the DVDs because there are things that we couldn't do on a broadcast schedule that we will be doing for DVD.
How was your voice Leo and then?
Oh, she was fun. To be quite honest, funny story. I was the third voice actress to play Neo, and the reason I was able to do it is because the first two voice actresses turned it down because the subject matter was so questionable. So Neo is my I have no morals character. Because they were like, call Monica, she'll do it. And I really, when I got in there, I was like, really? This isn't bad at all. They're like, I know. But you know, we're in Texas and it's part of the Bible Belt and all that stuff, so people get a little weird. I loved it. I thought it was a blast. I loved smacking everybody around with a giant paddle. And I think she's a lot of fun, so I was more than happy to play Mia. Thank you. Hello!
Hello. I was wondering why they didn't finish Dead Man Wonderland.
As far as I know, that's it. I mean, like, as far as the manga, is there something else?
Oh yeah, the manga continued.
I mean, as far as I know the manga's continued.
It's already done.
Oh, is it done?
Yeah.
I think what happened with Dead Man Wonderland, unfortunately, Dead Man is one of my favorite shows ever. Like, I love the dark, gritty stuff. But for some reason, it didn't do as well in Japan as it's done here. So it's done really, really well here, but not as well as in Japan. And that's kind of the quandary that we have on a lot of shows.
High School did that as well.
Right, so stuff that does well in Japan doesn't always do well here, and then vice versa. But the problem is that they're the ones who create it. So if it's really good and everybody here loves it, it's really hard to go to them and go, hey, you know that thing that didn't sell well over there? Could you make more of it for us?
That pretty much proves just one thing. America loves violence.
Well, and, you know, panty and stocking and stuff like that, you know. So I would love for there to be more. I would jump on that in a heartbeat. I would pull out my, I'd be all about it. But unfortunately, at this point, I don't think there's any parents for it. No problem. Yes. Oh, you have to squish.
One of two questions. The first one's going to be more about your everyday life with Jamie, because I know you two share one brain, and I know how much fun you have with her.
Yes.
How much banter and how much real thrill do you two have just picking at each other?
I just want to say real quick, I love how he's slightly adjusting it, so you can slightly stand up. That was pretty brilliant, thank you, sir. I think that I've joked a lot, but I think the cameras follow Jamie and I around, and I'm sure a lot of people say this, but I really think that we would make an awesome reality show. Like, I think people would probably be like, holy crap, what is wrong with them? And at the same time, want to hang out with us because we are insane. But in the best kind of way, she and I have been known to like go to, there's this place over by us that has a sushi sake happy hour. We've been known to show up at 4 and leave at 8. You know? We've known to tweet while we're doing that, which probably isn't a good idea because then Monica comes out as being as confirming information she never confirmed because she had too many beers. But yeah, we have a lot of fun. We just had our annual birthday party. We had a pre-Halloween party last weekend, so that was fun. But it's fun when you get to meet people who you share so much in common with that you instantly click, and Jamie was definitely one of those people. So.
Yeah, I remember when she first met you was on First Angel as Joe.
Yeah, she had no idea that I sounded like this. She thought that I sounded like this. She was like, oh crap, you don't sound like that at all. Like,
The other question I had was, I saw you in an interview a while back, how you adore harem genre anime.
Well, the thing is that, like, here's my deal. Like, Rosario Vampire has got themes. Like, there's other stuff going on other than this hapless dude that's just got a bunch of girls, like, hanging on him. As long as a harem show has a good theme and has something going for it, like good characters, then I'm okay. I have worked on a handful of harem shows where it's like, why does this exist? And I tell people all the time, I'm like, ladies, it's not worth it. Do not fight your friends for one hapless dude. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Find your own man. Let somebody else have him. Men, women do not fall from the sky. If they do, there's something wrong with them. And if you've got 7 girls chasing after you, it's probably a good choice to pick one. Stick with it, and let the others be. Huh? Shuffle's a little different because that's so dramatic. You know what I mean? Like, and like I'm saying, like there are a lot of harem shows that are inherently good, and I love that now the big thing is the switch with the male harem. I love that. I'm like, yeah, bring me like 8 guys. As long as it's even playing field, you know what I mean? Like,
I've already picked your one, you're good.
Right, exactly. I've got the one. But you know, in anime, it'd be fun to have like, 8 dudes, whatever. But the thing is that it's the dudes getting the dudes. Like, where do the girls come in? Right! There's no girls in there. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. She doesn't really get any of the dudes, though, does she? No. See? Not there.
The guys go with the guys.
Yeah.
There's no girl
Not the same. I'm gonna go start an anime, and it's gonna be one chick with like...
More chicks. More chicks.
With a whole bunch of dudes, like 28 different dudes that are all in love with her. Yes. Huh? That's true, that is kind of like that. And I guess kind of Oron High School is kind of like that. All right. But yeah, some of them I enjoy. It's just that I want to make sure that like young, especially the young fans, like I don't want dudes to think like, hey, you don't have to put any effort into it. Girls are just gonna fall all over your feet.
Transfer to a new school.
Right, exactly. Transfer to a new school, and you'll see panties all day long. That's all.
The first girl you bump into.
Right. I don't want people to grow up thinking that, and I don't want girls. Like that's the only thing is to me, they kind of send a bad message to young girls. And so I want young girls to know that, like, hey, as long as you understand that this is an anime, it's not real life, and don't let guys walk all over you, you'll be good.
Thank you very much. I think the problem though is that there is some truth to the harem genre in Japan. In Japan, it actually is that.
But aren't they having like a serious problem? Like they have a low birth rate because dudes are too busy getting it on with their body pillows? Is that how it is?
And their computers.
Right. See, I guess it is one giant harem. Wow.
What was the funniest role thing you said playing Michiko?
Oh, jeez. What wasn't funny doing Michiko? What is that?
Wow.
Oh, Jose, that's you.
Gonna get that for the others.
I'm gonna be a giant ghost. Watch, I'm gonna put it on. Everybody got a marker? I'll put eyes on it. I absolutely loved playing Michiko. And I loved that it became like they trolled the internet basically. Like Bevins and Funimation trolled the internet. Because when they announced Michiko and Hachin, they purposely only put my name out there. They're like, Monica Rial is playing Michiko, and the entire internet went, no! And as hurtful as some of the tweets and things were, it was kind of hilarious because I was sitting there going, you don't even know. Because people are so used to hearing me do this. Because my voice is so high-pitched naturally that it's a lot easier to make me do that than it is to make Stephanie Young do that, you know? So I play so many little girls just because that's in my range that, no, I won't. I won't draw on it. I'm gonna get in trouble. But thank you. I might later. A few years later. I feel like I'm wearing a toga. See, I'm old. Where was I going with that? Low voices, Michiko. Okay. So yeah, so the internet exploded and freaked out. And then when it actually came out and the trailers came out, I got several, and I have to say, well done, anime fans, well done, because I got some apologetic messages like, hey, I said some really hateful things, and I'm sorry I said those, because it's pretty good. And we didn't think that it was going to be on Toonami. All that we knew is that it was a show that we loved, and Jade and I, Jade who plays Hachin, we would go to conventions, we're like, hey, there's a show. Unfortunately, it got tied up in licensing for 3 years, so that's why it was kind of like unheard of. We're like, but it's so good, and it's so awesome, and you guys are gonna love it, and everybody's just like, all right. And then it came out on the save for Funimation, where it's like, you know, the cheapest of the cheap that you can get. And so we thought, oh gosh, nobody's gonna watch the show that we love. And out of nowhere, Toonami was like, Michiko and Hachin is playing on Toonami. And we're like, holy crap, yay! So it's funny to me that now there's a whole legion of fans that only know me for talking like this and don't know me for my actual voice. Oh God, the art, the box, the music, like there's not a thing about that show that I don't love. I got to say some awesome stuff in Michiko and Hachin. Some of my favorite moments though, the ones that aren't between her and Hachin are between her and Atsuko. I absolutely love. And Sumitra Ewan, that is her first anime role ever. Like she's never done anime, she's brilliant. So yeah, I had a blast and I absolutely adore that character and I'm glad that people like her because I love her. I can't think of any particular thing. There's so much. A lot of it just comes to mind, but I love her so much. Who's next? Sorry, saw somebody back there. I'm gonna jump in this room.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
Go for it.
Well, I think one thing I was curious about that I didn't get to ask you last time I saw you at a con here in Miami over at SuperCon a few years ago. One of the things is
so much better.
One of the things is that some of the voices that you've done, like for example Misa or going back to Blast from Houston here, Mira and Go Danner, like you did like this voice that's deeper than your actual voice, but not necessarily Michiko. I was just ever curious what was doing that particular kind of like deeper voice, was that ever kind of stressful for you? Because sometimes it can sound kind of raspy, and I'm wondering, oh, does that take some effort? Or
it does. I mean, like, I guess I'm the antithesis of every other waking adult. Most ladies that are in voice acting have to struggle to get higher. I have to struggle to get lower. Like, if you want me to go higher pitch, sweet, that's awesome. But to go lower pitch, I have to like warm up and like really be ready to do that. I learned to do that because of theater. Like, you know, if you're gonna play Lady Macbeth, they don't want you to sound like me. They want you to sound like this and be very serious and dark and be able to talk to the back wall and people have to be able to hear you like 300 rows back. So I had to learn how to do that, which was fun until I always blame my dad. This is gonna sound horrible, but my dad is from Spain, and who has Hispanic fathers in here? Anybody? So you guys know, right? It's not always the best. It's not always fun. So my dad would tell me, he'd be like, Monica, talk to me in your real voice. That's not your real voice. Dad, this is my real voice. He's like, no. Talk to me in a grown-up voice. That is not your real voice. I'm like, all right, Dad. We're gonna have chicken and rice tonight for dinner. Much better. That is much better. So I joke that child abuse kind of helped my range as a voice actor. It really wasn't abusive. I think he was trying to teach me to speak, but also growing up in a Hispanic family, you learn that in order to be heard, you have to pierce through the yelling and the volume, and so getting higher pitch always worked for me because they'd be like, blah, 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 and everybody could hear me. I'm like, yes, I can be heard. So yeah, I learned to do it very early on. I did a lot of the lower stuff at ADV because we had Hillary Haig, And she did all of the cutesy, girly stuff, so I never really had to do that. So when I first went to Funimation, it was kind of a novelty. I'm like, oh gosh, they're like, you have a high voice, you're gonna play all of the little girls. And I'm like, okay.
Index.
Yeah, but before then I hadn't done a whole lot because I was, you know, we had other girls that could go higher than I could. And so I actually, if you watch DVD extras, there's one in particular, I was in the studio with Maggie Flecknoe and Stephen Foster, and he was for some reason watching Puni Puni Poemies, like extras. And if you watch those extras, you'll hear that my voice is lower. My voice is actually, my speaking voice is lower than it is now because my voice has been so conditioned to talking like this for like 7 years straight. So I've learned that what you can do is if your voice sits in a certain place and you want to change it, you just talk in that where you want it to be for 7 years, and there you go. So my voice, we've joked, as I get older, actually gets higher, which is the antithesis of the rest of the world. But hey, as long as it gives me a long career, I'm good. But yeah, it can be taxing, especially if I have to yell in that lower range, because it takes a lot more breath support to be able to hold on to this and actually be able to be heard, even on like a microphone or whatever. You can hear that I don't have as much like tonality and stuff because I don't have as much support. I'm not very warmed up right now, but still. But if I have to yell like that, like with a lot of Mira Satan Soul stuff, that's me. Yay, woo. But after that, like I know if I have to yell for Fairy Tale, like I'll go do everything else I have to do, and then I'll go in there and then talk like this for the rest of the day. Go home, tea.
On that same note, just one last thing. I haven't seen the show, but I actually read one of the things you did, Watamote as Tomoko.
Yes!
That you did so many different voices playing that single role.
Yes.
What was that like?
It's funny. Tomoko is one of those things, like people ask me about Watamote and I just look at them and go, I can't even describe it. I have been working in the industry for 16 years, right? A long time. I'm almost up to like 400 roles. But that was the first time that I've had a character, and I'm sad and happy at the same time that I'm saying this about Tomoko. And all of the characters that I've ever played, I've never felt more connected to a character than I have Tomoko. So like, it was so easy. Like, I don't know what happened, but we recorded all of Watamote in one day. Whoa. Because it was literally like, they would press record and I would just start blah, 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 and it was so much of it was in her head and in her own space that I just kind of, it was weird, y'all. It was like an outer body experience. And I'm sad that it happened. I'm not sad, but I just think it's funny of all the characters I played for it to be the most awkward of all, that was the one that I connected deeply with. But yeah, Tomoko is awesome. I love that show, it's so much fun.
Thank you.
No problem. Hello, sir.
Hi.
What's up?
Which type of character do you enjoy playing more? Those that are more serious in nature as opposed to being comedic? And which one do you find harder to play?
Ooh. I like comedy. I've always enjoyed comedy. Like as an actor, I like making people laugh and I think it's fun. But there is a part, like there is something to be said for the drama. And in anime, there is drama and then there isn't. Like it's really hard to get that really deep actor-driven drama that some of us love so much. We just did a show, part of the broadcast dub season called Death Parade, where like actors got to like, for each episode, you had this like really dramatic performances. And Ian Sinclair and I are in the same episode, and we just, I'm getting chills talking about it. Like, I cried in the booth, which I haven't done in years, like real tears, just bawling like a big old baby. So much so that I had to be like, okay, stop, give me a moment. All right, I'm good. But like, it was an experience unlike any other, really. So there's something to be said for that drama. Also, as an actor, one of the things that I love about voice acting is that it's kind of like free therapy, believe it or not. Like you get to go in there and scream and cry and yell at people and kick ass and then go home and be as sweet as pie to whoever's around. Like, I got it all out today, honey, we're good. I don't care that you left your clothes all over the floor, that's totally fine.
Just don't watch the show.
Yeah, just don't watch the show. I wasn't thinking about you at all. No, especially like that Mara Jane yell when she transforms for the first time. Like, I had just saved up every little bit of animosity and anger that I had and just let it. It was the best feeling in the world. I wasn't able to talk, but I felt great. So yeah, I see if there's a little bit of both. I know that's a very wishy-washy thing, but I'm a Libra. We don't make decisions well. So I'd say I really love the comedy. I feel like I'm good at the comedy, but I really, really love and miss the drama. I used to do a lot of Shakespeare, so I kind of miss the drama of the tragedies and stuff.
Okay, thanks.
Sonic! What up?
What are your favorite? What are your favorite anime characters that you voiced?
Oh, there's too many. Yeah, see, somebody already knows my answer. It's like choosing children. It's true, there's so many, it's hard for me to say. Of my more recent ones, how about that? Like, I give you the more recent ones that I've done. I love Sig in Gangsta. She's my new favorite. Cruel in Seraph of the End is one of my favorites as well, because she's cruel. And gosh, there's so many. I love my Michiko, I love my Tomoko. I've been really lucky. I have a really weird voice, and it works for anime, so I've gotten to play a lot of the really cool characters. At first, I used to get kind of offended when people would be like, hey, here's a psycho, give it to Monica. And I'd be like, what does that say about me? But now, they're like, hey, here's a psycho, give it to Monica. And I'm like, yes, give it to Monica. Because the crazier, the better. Somebody posted on Twitter, they sent me a picture of Sig, and they said, crazy Monica is best Monica. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, I'm lucky in that I've gotten to play a lot of the more interesting characters. Like, I play princesses, but I play princesses with issues. I don't play the pretty princess that, you know, I'm not a Disney princess. I'm the Disney princess that, you know, would kill their mother or whatever. You know, like I have major princess issues. So it's kind of fun that I get to play and create all these different unique characters.
Probably not you were in Murder Princess.
Oh, Murder Princess, exactly. Thank you, Sonic.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello, you look so cute.
It's your killer.
I know.
Speaking of crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, two things.
Yes.
I know you're a scriptwriter a lot of a lot of fairy tale,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just wondering, like, if you guys are starting up the season 2, the dub, or where you guys are at with that.
I can say that I'm no longer the lead writer. It's not because I was like, boo, fairy tale, I'm done. It's just because I've been doing it for 4 years, and I was like, I want to do something different. I don't know exactly where they are now. I know that they're still going. So I think that's probably all I can tell you without getting myself in trouble with cameras around. So I do know that there's no plans to stop fairy tale anytime soon that I know of.
Oh God.
So you should be good.
And the second thing, my friend wants to know if you actually remember the woodpecker song that Shira would sing in Man Wonderland.
I wish I do. I wish I did, but I remember. Go to fight, knuckle dead, go to hey, she feeling good, now she good. I remember that one. But the woodpecker song, I don't remember. I remember like learning it. That's what sucks though, is about with voice acting, is because we don't memorize anything. So you literally spend all this time learning songs, and then you sing it once, and it's like, that's it. Like there's songs that I've had to sing recently that I'm sure people are gonna be like, hey, can you sing that? If you play it on YouTube, I can mouth the words. But I do remember the fight song because I thought that was so stupid cute. I was walking around saying it, annoying everyone at Funimation. I'd be like, well, go, Cully, fight! Yeah! She's like, oh my God, stop. So yeah, I remember that one. Thank you. Hello!
Hello. So it's a very not super popular anime here, but see if you remember. Do you remember your role as Kaiji from Samurai Girls? Or
Oh yes! Oh yes, I do.
How was that?
It was fun. That was one of the not questionable, but you know what? It's one that made you kind of raise your eyebrow and go,
Wait till you see what he has you sign.
oh, I love it.